here to save us from scams, money-saving expert Martin Lewis, warning of two online scams currently trying to rob people of their money. The first targets women born between 1950 and 1960, tells them falsely they are entitled to thousands of pounds in a supposedly newly announced compensation scheme from the government that doesn't exist, with some sites even wrongly claiming to be endorsed by Martin himself.
Martin joins us now. Over to you, Martin. Tell us about the Waspi women's scandal and the compensation.
Yeah, I pulled a face when you introduced me, if I'm really honest, because you used the phrase to save me from scams, and nothing to do with you, Susanna, and what you said, but I mean, the frustration is, the great difficulty here is, I will try and explain to people what scams are, but also the scammers use me. So we have to be careful when it's me saving you from scams, because I'm also, it's myself and Elon Musk. We're between us. I think we're in 70% of scam adverts that are trying to get people to steal their money. So you have to be very careful with anything with me in. I'm not necessarily the person trying to save you. If the scammers are using me, I'm using a false endorsement.
No, but
so
we know why that is, don't we, Martin? It's because you are, regularly voted the most trusted face. You are a consumer champion. You are, the people's shadow chancellor. People know that when you are associated with something financial, they instantly go, well, if Martin says this is the case, it must be true. And as you say, these scams are scams harnessing your reputation to your detriment, actually. And I know that's why it makes you so angry, because when people say, but Martin, you told me to do it, you're like, no, I didn't. So explain how you're being used to con Waspi women.
When I hear of people losing hundreds of thousands of pounds because they trusted me, that's what really is desperately upsetting. I spent my life trying to campaign to make people better with their finances and protect vulnerable people, and it is absolutely devastating. And the word scams tends to ignore what it really is. We're talking organised criminal gangs who are trying to steal people through adept psychological tactics, and often from vulnerable people, but from anybody out there. And they will use whatever they want without any barriers or gains or morality coming in. Now, what's happening with Waspi, which is all about the parliamentary ombudsman said an injustice, a maladministration by government by not informing women born in the 1950s early enough of the change of the state pension age. Last December, the government ruled that while it accepted there had been maladministration, there would be no compensation. I suspect there will be further challenge coming on that, but that's the situation at the moment. But you have right now pictures of Keir Starmer accepting that there is compensation. Of course, a complete fake Keir Starmer. There's a Martin Lewis Waspi compensation calculator, completely fake, nothing to do with me. And what they're doing is they're purporting that you can put your money in and apply for compensation that does not exist. Plain. The compensation from the state does not exist. It is not happening at the moment. But these people, and many women have been desperate on the back of this, they're given this crutch that they want to grab hold of to go and apply for the compensation. Now, we don't necessarily know why they're doing that, whether it's just, they're not going to be giving you any money or taking any money, but a lot of these scams are just about taking your personal data, knowing you're an active person so that they can scam and target you in other ways. And if you have put your data in, you may find yourself, the victim of many other scams coming forward.
And
so
let's also, Martin, highlighting a second scam today as well, aren't you, which is about your name also being used to lure people into fake investment products.
I mean, this one is particularly vile. I've seen similar before. I've been dead before. Now I'm being arrested, and I know Stephen Bartlett's being arrested too. And what they do here is that they put a picture of you. This is sort of the worst type of clickbait. There's one of me in handcuffs. I don't know if you've got the picture. Handcuffs. Why? What's he done? And the aim of that is, you then click it and you get gradually through to this investment scam. And the key to these they always want 250 quid. They'll always tell you you've made money. And then they do it by phone call and they rope people in. It's pernicious and it's dangerous. The thing to remember on the internet is never just think about your destination. You've got to think about the route, the journey that you took. So you may end up on a website that looks legitimate, but think, how did I get there? And if you got there by clicking an advert, if you got there by clicking something that wasn't trusted, if you were on social media and something caught your eye that you've not seen before, The root is the warning.
Right.
If you're going to put money in anything, you need to have gone directly to the right website of a trusted source, not via an advert to do it. And if you see an advert you think's good, then go and search its proper website. Don't click through that, because it could well be a total scam trying to get you there. I mean, the arrested ones are just horrible.
Yeah, Ian Wright was targeted with these as well, wasn't he? And posted a video saying what's wrong with people that they're doing this.
Can I ask you, Martin, because these are adverts appearing on social media platforms, lots of social media platforms. If you had a pub, and a pub was regularly scamming people inside or having people arrested for drunken behaviour on the doorstep of the pub, or drugs was happening in the pub, in the end, the police and the licensing authorities would step in and say to the pub, clean up your act or we're going to close you down. Why are the social media companies not under more pressure to sort out the platform they're providing to these scams? Why isn't the government getting tough on the social media platforms?
Oh, Ed, we can't do anything to hurt big tech social media, Ed. They're so powerful, Ed. We can't really touch them, can we? Look, I mean, you use your analogy. Let's go a stronger analogy. Let's say you have a television channel called ITV that has advertising. All its advertising has to be pre-vetted and pre-checked to check that it isn't a scam. Social media firms don't do that. The whole profit maximisation of social media firms is to allow easy, quick advertising. And that's why scams happen. It's not because they want the scammers, although, yes, they are paid to publish those adverts and they make money from it. It's because they want to have such an easy form of advertising that anyone can advertise in a second that they don't put the proper checks in. Now, I've campaigned for this on years. I sued Facebook, as people will know, and got £3 million settlement that set up an anti-scam charity, or arm of a charity anyway. And we got scam adverts on the Online Safety Act. The government didn't originally want it. We got them to change their mind. That came in 2023. But because of the timetable of the Act, Ofcom will only publish the rules for social media companies, we hope, in early 2026, and then it'll be about a year-long consultation, so they won't come in until 2027. So until 2027, we have a wild west of social media companies and their advertising and others online advertising. And even in 2027, the rules are unlikely to be that harsh, and they will only cover the biggest firms. They won't cover display ads. And all the promises we had of an online advertising programme that would cover other forms of online advertising, tumbleweed out there. There is no protection from the state for these adverts. Understand that. You have to protect yourself.
Okay,
the situation should not be that. But please, people, you have to protect yourself, because the state is not protecting you at the moment.
Can you just give people a cast iron piece of information which can protect them? I mean, for instance, I know there are a huge number of these scams. So I Googled, you know, the names involved and a scheme that they're associated with. They do not come up on my Google search because they're fake, they don't exist. So is that one thing you can do, that you can cross-check if this actually is something that exists?
Well, Google can have scams on it as well, so I'd be even more careful. Look, I mean, let me be plain. If we're talking celebrity adverts, I wouldn't trust an advert with a celebrity if you've only seen it on social media, if it's talking about investment or dieting or any of the other scam areas.
OK, that's
a good
bit of information. I just would not trust it.
Yeah. Right, if it's got me in it, I don't ever do adverts, so it's always a fake. Most of those with Elon Musk, fake. Most of those with pictures of This Morning or Good Morning Britain in it, fake. But, I mean, anything rushing you to make money, anyone telling you not to tell anybody else about it, anyone that you haven't gone to through a legitimate news website, all of them, fake, fake, fake. Don't trust them, they're criminals. Thank
you, Martin, for what you've done today. It's so important, the message you're putting out. And we will put these points about the social media companies to the government on your behalf. I'm sure you'll be doing that directly.
Thank you, Martin.